Officials from Russia and Ukraine have held a new round of talks today. The aim is to end the military conflict. The sides spoke by video link. However, no agreement was reached, but more discussions are scheduled for tomorrow. Meantime, Russian forces continue to move closer to the country's capital city. Philip Crowther, Associated Press international affiliate reporter, joins us now from Lviv, Ukraine. Philip, good to see you. What is the situation there right now? I understand yesterday there was an attack on a military base near Lviv. What more can you tell us about that?
Yeah, and it was a deadly attack on a military training facility not too far from here and actually very close to the Ukrainian border with Poland as well. Explosions there could be heard in Poland, could be heard from here as well, by the way, and could be seen from the other side of the border. This was a military training facility that had been used by NATO and the United States to train their colleagues in the Ukrainian army, and maybe it was seen as a little symbol too far of Ukrainians' integration with NATO by Russian President Vladimir Putin. Any which way, 35 people died in that attack, at least over 130 people injured, according to the Ukrainian military. And all of this, of course, leads to a lack of calm in this city here in Lviv, which had been a peaceful place and still is a peaceful place within a country at war. This is where so many refugees are passing through. Remember, 2.8 million have fled Ukraine so far. And this is also a city that is very important for the distribution of humanitarian aid, but also for weapon shipments. And that is why the fear here is that the Russian forces will get interested in this part of the country.
Philip, what about Mariupol? I understand things are particularly dire there and that a major evacuation operation took place. What more can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I'm afraid it won't be a major operation. The idea was that it would be, but all we have right now is the knowledge that 60 civilian cars, according to local authorities, were making their way out of Mariupol. We don't know how many people were on board those cars, and we don't know at this point whether they will in fact make it to a safe place. Remember that for a week or so, there have been daily attempts to create ceasefires and humanitarian corridors and safe passages for civilians out of besieged cities. And the priority has always been Mariupol. There have been agreements on that southeastern city here in Ukraine between Russia and Ukraine, but all of those ceasefires have been violated by Russia over the last few days. Today, a little glimmer of hope that one of those ceasefires might hold. Absolutely no chance of a general ceasefire, though, here in Ukraine. That same city of Mariupol still being struck constantly by Russian missiles and by Russian artillery fire.
And Philip, what is the biggest concern right now, especially where you are?
Well, it's an extension of this war, if you will, into the West, because this war has been pretty much fought in the center of the country, in the east of the country, as already had been the case for 8 years, with Russian-backed separatists fighting the Ukrainian army in the east of the country. But now it has moved somewhat westwards, not with soldiers on the ground, but with those airstrikes, not just close to here, to the city of Lviv here in the west, but also two other cities, Lutsk further north from here, Ivano-Frankivsk south from here. All three cities have been hit, but these have been military airfields in the case of the other two cities. In the case of Lviv, a military training facility. These have been relatively pinpointed attacks, no attacks on the cities themselves. But I can tell you from people I've spoken to here in Lviv that there is a fear that this war could get closer and that there could be bombing raids here in the city of Lviv and other western cities as well. So far, during this whole Russian invasion of Ukraine, the west of the country had been spared until those attacks over the weekend.
Well, Philip, we're praying for your safety and, of course, everyone in Ukraine. Thank you so much for your reporting.